Hello, hello, gorgeous souls. I think I'm gonna have to take these off for you to see my eyes today. We will put those to the side. So welcome, beautiful people, to the Play in the Infinite Masterclass. Day 1. I'm so excited. Just gonna have a drink of water here. So I'm stoked about this masterclass. This channeled through me like wildfire. The concepts that we're going to talk about today are my life. This is my life. This is how I play with life. This is how I live my life. This is how I do all things I do, is by playing in the infinite. And what I mean by that is playing with my infinite potential, playing with life from a space that's aligned with infinite possibilities, my infinite potential. So I'm super excited. I'm so excited about it. But first, what I want to touch on is a huge decision that I recently made in my life, which is a perfect example of playing in my infinite potential, of embodying my infinite potential, stepping into my next level, embracing the next level, okay? I made this huge quantum leap decision out of nowhere a couple of weeks ago to move to a different country. Ta-da! So this is obviously huge. This is obviously something new. This is obviously a leap. This is obviously out of my comfort zone. And these are all things that come into play when we are playing bigger in life, when we choose to play bigger, when we decide to play bigger, when we reach further, when we expand into the infinite, when we embody our infinite potential. It gets to be so much fun. It gets to be so exciting. It gets to be so expansive. And so it is. So I wanted to share that little, I guess, milestone with you before we begin. So I didn't always have like the confidence and the skills, and I always had the potential and the ability within me, but I wasn't attuned to that. I wasn't tapped into that. I didn't know how to embody that yet, right? So I wasn't always in a space where making decisions or taking quantum leaps like this were a thing for me. You know, doing crazy big things with my life, I never used to think that that was something that I would do. I never used to think that I would become anything great. I never used to think that I would do anything beautiful with my life. Like, I was brought up with the belief system that you go to school, you get a job, a good job, you build a career, you stay in that career, you build a family, you retire, and you just live. There was never any talk about dreams or our potential or what we actually really truly desired. There was no talk about what your unique power is, how to live in alignment with your passions, like how to do what's truly important for you in this lifetime, for me in this lifetime. That was never a conversation I had. Nobody ever taught me that growing up. I had to go out into the world when I got to a point in my life where I realized that there was more. I realized I wanted more. I realized there was more out there. And I got to a point where I started seeking that. Very gratefully, in early 2016, I got involved with this network marketing company. They have fabulous nutritional products, and I loved sharing them with people. And this was my first online business that I ever started. At the time, I was also personal training, so I was building a brand and building a business through that endeavor as well. Okay? But I didn't know that things were going to grow and change and evolve in this direction. I didn't know what was coming for me. At that point, I still didn't even know what was possible for me. But as I got integrated into this company and building my first online business through network marketing, I was introduced to personal development. I was introduced to the self-help industry. And this is where everything began to change for me. This was where I realized that there was more for me in this lifetime. I realized that there were things that I desired. I realized that there were places that I wanted to go, things that I wanted to see. You know, there was a version of myself that I wanted to become. And I had to teach myself, I had to learn, I had to seek out resources and people and mentors and tools to show me how to get there, to show me how and what steps I needed to take to start moving toward where I desired to go. So the exciting thing about this is that now, because I fell in love with personal development, because I fell in love with my infinite potential, because I fell in love with helping people in a way where I can help them create the lives of their wildest dreams, step into and embody the lives of their wildest dreams, you know, recognize and embrace their infinite potential too. So now that I'm able to do that, now that that's what I do, I just, like I said, this masterclass channeled straight through me. This is everything that I have learned and practiced and taught and preached and integrated into my life for the last 5 years, 2016 to 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 5 years. This is year 5 for me. So I'm very excited to share this with you because this is the magic. This is the magic that brought me from being in a space where I didn't know how to play with life at all, where I thought that mediocre was what I was made for, when I thought like I was just made for the status quo, that I would go to school, get a regular job, build a career, have a family, retire eventually. Do you see how unappealing this is to me? It's so unappealing to me. So I used to be one of those people who didn't know how to play with life. Nobody ever taught me that. Like I said, I had to go out and learn that for myself. And now that I know how to play with life, how to play in the infinite, how to embody and play with my infinite potential, and how to move from that space, how to take leaps from that space, how to make decisions from that space, everything's changed. Everything in my life has changed. As soon as I began to change from within, my whole world changed. As soon as I recognized I had infinite potential and I learned how to tap into that and I learned how to embody that and I learned how to be the version of myself that stood boldly, proudly, confidently in her infinite potential, through the doubt, through the worry, through the fear, I practiced, I stayed consistent, I stayed persistent, I stayed the course. And now I know how to play in the infinite, and life keeps getting better and better, and better and better, and better and better, because this is how it gets to be. What we focus on is always expanding. Where our mind goes, where our intention goes, energy flows. Everything in our world is made up of energy. That means what we focus on is transmuting and shifting and becoming something in our physical world all the time. It's manifesting. So I'm going to show you how to play with your infinite potential today. I'm going to show you how to play in the infinite. I'm going to teach you the difference between people who don't play with life at all and us, the people who play in the infinite. What sets us apart? Why is life so different for us? How is life so different for us? How can you create that? How can you step into that? How can you embody that? How can that become something that is true for you? How can that become a reality that you live in too? I'm going to show you that today, okay? So I have some notes here on my old little cell phone. Let me call you on my shell phone. All right, so day 1, like I said, oh my gosh. Today is exciting because what we're going to talk about today, these are the basics. These are the baseline concepts, the foundational concepts that have helped me get to where I am today, that have helped me get to a point where I can bravely make the decision to pack up my life and move to another country and have full faith and confidence that everything that I desire is coming into form through this decision and through this endeavor because it's aligned with my desire. It is what I truly desire. This is the first dream I had when I began personal development, was to move somewhere tropical, lay on a freaking beach, and write my first book. This vision, I've seen it in my mind for years. I've seen it in my mind. One of the first concepts I ever learned was if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. If you see it in your mind, you can have it in your physical reality. You can. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. This is a vision, this is a dream that I've seen in my mind for so long. And watching it and seeing it finally come into form has been magical. Magical. It's affirmed that I am capable, that it is possible for me, that I am made for great things, that I can trust my desires, that I can trust my dreams, that I will make it. I will get there. I don't need to know how. That's not my job. We're going to talk about that in this masterclass. All I need to know is that I desire it, that it's possible for me, that I have infinite potential. And when I play in the infinite, when I live in alignment, when I embody my infinite potential, that is when these big, crazy, beautiful, new desires become available for us in this reality. So I'm going to show you how to align with that today, okay? Like I said, day one. How long is this intro here? I think we can cut off this intro. So, okay, day one. Let's do this. I'm ready. Are you ready? I'm just going to have a quick drink here. First, we're going to talk about, I kind of talked about this a little bit in this intro, understanding the depths of who and what you truly are. So understanding who and what you truly are. So this is important because if you don't know who you truly are, then you're not going to know what you're capable of. If you don't know who you truly are, you're not going to know what you're capable of. Okay, we're going to go straight into this. Spirit is saying no BS. I don't need to beat around the bush here with this concept. And I don't have notes for this masterclass, everybody. I'm just teaching this straight from the heart. This, like I said, is information that I know, that I embody, that I live every single day. So this is coming straight from the heart. I have a few little notes to stay on track, but they're just topics. So, who and what you truly are. Okay, obviously, you perceive that you're a human, right? You have a body, okay? And I want to make that very clear. You have a body. You are not a body. You are not a body. You have a body, okay? What you are is actually so much deeper than a physical body. It's actually so much more potent. It's actually more magical, more kind of ethereal. Your soul, your spirit, you're an energy, you're an energetic being, okay? You could say a consciousness. There are so many different words that we can use to describe who and what you truly are. But what you need to know is that you're more than your body. You're more than this physical body. You are so much more than this physical body. Okay, I like to say you're an energetic being living in a physical body, or you are a spirit living in a physical body, or you are a soul, or you are a consciousness, and you live in this physical body. Okay, so if that is who and what you truly are, then you need to know that you are also not limited by your physical body. You are not limited by your physical ability. You are not limited by anything physical. There is so much more to life beyond the physical. There's so much more to life beyond what you can see with your physical eyes. There's so much more. And you are a part of that so much more. There's actually infinity that exists beyond the physical. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? There is infinity that exists beyond the physical. And you can access that because you are a part of the infinite. You are a part of all that exists. You are a part of all that is. And like I've talked about previously, all things are energy. At a very base level, if you take anything and you zoom in and you look at it under a microscope, you're eventually going to get to a place, no matter what it is, anything physical, anything gas, anything, you zoom in on anything with a microscope, liquid, you're eventually going to get to a place where all you see is blank space. Blank space. You know what that is? That's the everythingness that everything has. That's the isness, the beingness, the existence that all things have. This phone, this candle, this body, all these different things. At the very bottom level, the very foundation, the very base level, all things are energy, including you. Including you! So if you are included in that infinite energy, and we know that there is infinite beyond what we can physically see, and if you are a part of that, then that means you also have access to everything. You're on the same level as it. It exists here with you. There is no barrier, there is no block, there is nothing that stands between you and the infinite, other than your limited human perception, your limited human ideas of who and what you are, who and what the world is, and how this world works. Your perception of that is the only thing that can limit you. Beyond that, you are limitless. Even with that, even with limited perceptions, even with limited beliefs, you inherently are still always and already infinite. You were born infinite, nothing has changed. You were born as infinite energy in a physical body, nothing has changed. Where do you think about this. Let's go one step deeper. Before a fetus is conceived, before that consciousness is part of that those tiny cells that eventually become a human being, where does that consciousness come from? Where does a brand new human body, a brand new fetus's consciousness, where does it come from? Where does it come from? It comes from the infinite, my friends. It comes from all that is. It comes from everything that exists. It comes from the infinite energy and the source of all that exists in our universe, physical and non-physical. So understanding who and what you truly are is the most important thing to know. If you desire more, if you desire growth, if you want things in your life to change, knowing who and what you truly are gives you the strongest foundation. Because you know then, like I said, that you are not separate from anything else that is part of the infinite. So whether it's a dream you have, a desire, a goal, a vision, whatever it is part of the infinite with you. It is made of that infinite source energy. It is made of all that is, just like you are. So there's nothing that separates you from it. There's nothing that holds you back from it. There's no wall, there's no barrier, there's no block, like I said. The only walls, barriers, and blocks are the ones that you perceive. So your perception, that's actually a good, okay, think about this. The human mind, you ever hear the term like pea brain? So a pea brain means like a tiny little pea brain, a limited little brain, right? Your human pea brain, pea brain, is the only thing that can limit you. Okay, I like to say limited human perceptions, because when we're tapped into the true beingness of who and what we are, when we're tapped into our infinite potential, we know there are no limits. So we're not limited by the pea brain, we're not limited by the human perceptions, right? Does that make sense? We are one heart, we are all connected, exactly. Yes, exactly. One energy, one beingness, one consciousness, a collective. But even deeper, we're all made of the same stuff. We all come from the same place. We're all a part of all that is. We're a part of that infinite. We're a part of that infinite energy, that infinite potential. That is who we are. Okay. If you have any questions about that, let me know in the comments and I'll dive a little bit deeper. But we're gonna talk more about this as we get into these other concepts. So first, like I said, it's important for you to know that you are an infinite consciousness, an infinite energy, an infinite spirit, an infinite source living in a physical body. Okay? Your beingness, your energy, your infinite potential lives through your body. You live out your mission, you live out your purpose, you live out your desires, you live out your infinite potential through this vessel. That is a fucking blessing. Oh my God, is that ever magical? You literally created and have this physical body that you get to live and experience and learn through. That is phenomenal. That is mind-blowing. That is magical. That is beyond. Infinite potential in human form. Infinite potential on legs. Magic on legs. That is who and what you are. Don't forget that. Remind yourself that. Put it on your forehead, put it on your wall, write it everywhere so you can see it. I am infinite potential in human form. I am infinite potential on legs. I am infinite potential. Infinite potential is me. I am part of the infinite. I am made from the infinite. I am one with the infinite. I am one with infinite possibilities. I am one with my infinite potential. However you need to put that, so that those words lock in on an energetic and emotional level, so that you feel that shift from feeling small and closed off and like you can't do the things that you desire to do, to feeling open and part of and connected to and no longer separate from all of the infinite possibilities. Everything you desire. You are infinite potential in human form. Now that you know this, the second most important thing, in my opinion, is knowing, deciding, identifying, figuring out, clarifying, bringing to the surface what the fuck you truly want from life. It's identifying what you truly want. Identifying what you truly, truly want. What do you desire? Okay? Tell me in the comments if you're here, or if you're watching the replay later, let me know in the comments. What do you desire? What do you want from life? It could be one thing, it could be many things, it could be anything. What's the first thing that comes to your mind? What do you desire right now? What do you really want? What is your soul craving? What are you feeling pulled to? What is something that you feel is missing from your life that you would desire to have? I'm going to backtrack a second because I don't want to know what you think everybody else wants you to want. I don't want to know what your mom wants for you, what your dad wants for you, what your family wants for you, what your partner wants for you. I don't want to know what they want from you either. Doesn't matter. I want to know what you actually desire. And I want you to know that what you desire, it's allowed to, and I can almost guarantee that it will grow and change and evolve with you. So as you recognize and embody and integrate more of your infinite potential, you're going to start to recognize more and more of what you truly want. I used to think that I wanted my dream husband right away, and that I wanted babies right away, and that I wanted a big 5-bedroom house and regular vacations and things. I thought I wanted to be provided for. I thought I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. And then I got all that. Yep. I put it out to the universe that was what I desired. And that's what I became an energetic match for, because I focused on it continually. And then I was basically a stay-at-home stepmom with a partner in a 5-bedroom house, 2 vehicles, 2 cats, 3 dogs. And I was not fucking happy. I was not happy. I was not fulfilled. I tried to be grateful. I would say, I'm so grateful for this, I'm so grateful for this, I'm so grateful for this, I'm so grateful for this. And then I would still be crying in my office at the end of every day. I would still wake up crying. I would still go to bed crying. I spent days in bed, depressed, because on the surface I had everything that I wanted, but on the inside, I didn't feel like I had anything that I truly wanted. And that was a hard lesson for me, because I had to learn that just because I desired something, it didn't mean that it was aligned with me, that it was true for me, that it was actually what I wanted. Okay, when I said that I desired those things way back then, I didn't actually desire those things. That was the story that I told myself I was supposed to desire to be successful or to make it in life, or that's what happiness came from. Those are the stories I told myself. So that's what I believed, and that's what I worked toward, and that's what I created. And it was there, and like I said, I was not happy. It was not what I actually wanted. And it took me getting to that point, and like I said, crying for days, weeks, months on end, to finally look myself in the eyes and be honest. And to say, like, hey, this might have been what you wanted before, but clearly this is not what you want now. And I had to practice being okay with that. And it broke my fucking heart. It broke me into pieces. It broke me into pieces. So my ex and I separated. I left. I moved out. I started listening to what my intuition and my heart and my soul truly wanted. Which, it wasn't for somebody to provide for me. It wasn't a big 5-bedroom house. It wasn't the perfect happy family. It wasn't all of the things that I thought my family would be proud of me for. It wasn't all of the things that I thought I would get recognition from all of the people who were watching me online for. It wasn't any of those things. It's not what I actually wanted. It's what I thought I wanted. But it wasn't what I felt I wanted. Okay, it's what I thought I wanted. It wasn't what I felt I wanted. When I started tuning into my heart, I realized that I wanted independence. I wanted to show myself what I was capable of. I might get emotional. I wanted to show myself that I could do it on my own. Because I always felt like I needed somebody's help. Like I needed to have a boyfriend or a partner or a husband to take care of me because I didn't trust that I could take care of myself. Okay, so it was independence was one of the things that I really wanted. I wanted the freedom. I wanted the freedom to be able to speak my truth, to live my truth, to be my most authentic, fully expressed self, unapologetically. I had to create space for myself to grow into that. I had to create space for myself to grow into that. And when I was in this situation, the life that I was living previously, with the partner and the animals and the kids and the house and the cars and the perfect life, there was no space for me to be my true self. There was no space for me to live in the freedom and the authenticity that I desired to. Because there were these other things that were filling the spaces in my life that I didn't actually want at that time. So one by one, I had to decide what is most important to me right now. And I've had to let go of some of the things that I loved most. And I share this with you because I don't want to give you the idea that it's going to be perfect or that it's going to be easy. It gets to be easy. It really does. I'll talk more about that soon. But I just want to be real with you, okay? There are growth curves. There are times when you're going to realize that you chose something in the past that was not true to your heart and your soul, okay? And thank you for the love. Thank you for the love, those of you that are sending hearts and cares. Thank you. I'm okay. I promise you I'm okay. I'm just sharing the real raw emotion with you here. Because I want you to feel it, okay? I want you to be activated by this. So, yeah, there are things that you may choose, that you decide later. You desire different. And like I said, there may be things that you love most, you love more than anything. And your soul might say, honey, this isn't right for you. Your soul might say, honey, there's another way. Your soul might say, open your fucking eyes. You haven't been happy for so long. What are you doing keeping yourself in a situation that doesn't serve you? Whatever it says, I want you to listen. And I want you to know that you can trust yourself. You can trust your heart. It is safe to trust your desires. Okay, following your heart and following your soul is actually the safest thing that you can do. Because it's true to you. It's authentic to you. People come into our lives to help us grow. Some stay, some don't. We choose to be here as we evolve into a higher state of consciousness. Yes, beautiful. Exactly. I believe every situation, every person, every opportunity, every moment of our lives, it's actually here as a lesson. One of my spiritual mentors, he teaches it as, we didn't come here for the experiences. Okay, we didn't come here for the chocolate. We didn't come here for the relationships. We didn't come here for the businesses that we build. We didn't come here for the traveling. Okay, we didn't come here for the experiences. We came here for the learning that the experiences give us. We came here for the expansion in consciousness and the learning and the lessons that these experiences give us. So these experiences are vehicles for our learning. These experiences are vehicles for our soul's evolution. These experiences are vehicles for us to embody more of our infinite potential. That's what these experiences are. And that's how I know, looking back, that I was never wrong. I never chose the wrong thing. I never desired the wrong thing. I never put myself into the wrong situations. I never loved the wrong people. It was never wrong. It was meant to teach me. And that's a beautiful thing, because if I can look back on all of my experiences, light, heavy, good, bad, happy, sad, dark, whatever, and I can see the lesson in it, then I can grow. And if I can see the lesson and I can grow, then I know that I'm embodying more of my infinite potential. I know that I'm playing more in the infinite. I know that I'm expanding. I know that I'm evolving. I know that I'm rising up. So I can fucking trust with my entire heart and soul that I am getting to where I'm meant to go. I can trust myself. I can trust my journey. I can trust my path. I can trust my current circumstances. Because I'm learning. And that learning is always taking me to where I'm meant to go. That learning is always one step further into my infinite potential. Okay, so this part is all about what you truly, truly desire. Happiness in its truest form. Beautiful. I'm interested to know a little bit more about what that looks like for you. What does that look like for you? What does happiness in its truest form look like for you? Right? What are the rules that you have around that? We're going to talk a little bit about standards and boundaries and rules. I think actually today, a little bit today and more tomorrow. But the rules that we have around what happiness means, basically, what would need to happen for you to experience happiness in its truest form? What would need to happen? Pure truth, right action is what you desire, Arlene. Pure truth, right action. Beautiful. And I'm assuming what you mean by right action is that like aligned action. Action in alignment with the greater good for all. I want to live as my truest self and feel content and brave in life, says Kyla. Yes, girl, yes. Live as your truest self and feel content and brave in life. That is beautiful. Again, I want to ask, like, you need to listen to your soul more, you say. Okay, good call. Yeah, listening to that intuition, following and trusting that inner voice. That's beautiful. We'll talk more about that today. Feel content and brave. What would have to happen for you to feel content and brave? What would have to happen for you to feel content? What would have to happen for you to feel brave? What are your rules around those feelings? Beautiful soul. You are such a beautiful soul too. Okay, gorgeous, my friends. I'm so happy. So yes, the second most important thing is figuring out what it is that you really want and desire in your life, okay? Not what everyone else wants for you, not what you think would be good for you, not what you think would be okay, not what you think you could settle for, but what you actually truly desire. What is your heart craving? What is your soul like? I just want that thing. What do you stay up at night thinking about? What do you wake up in the morning thinking about? What do you dream about? What do you daydream about? When you think about your perfect ideal future, what do you see yourself doing? Who are you being? What is happening? Help all the rescued children. Bless you. Yeah, once you know what you desire, everything changes. Because once you know what you truly desire, you have a better idea of where you're going next. What to look forward to, what to focus on next, where you're expanding into. You know, then you have an idea of the type of people that you desire to surround yourself with to help you get there. Maybe it's a mentor you desire to work with. Maybe it's changing the people that you follow on social media so that the content that you're consuming is aligned with where you desire to go. So that you're learning from the people who are already there of how you can grow into that space and get there yourself. You know, there are so many different possibilities. Once you decide what you desire, you can start to attract tools, resources, people, money, ideas, inspiration, opportunities, opening doors that will take you down the path to where you desire to go. For example, before I made the definite decision to move to another country, I was like, oh yeah, I can't wait to visit there. It'll happen one day. I'm excited for it, but I don't know when. I'll just wait to see when life gives me an opportunity to go and do this thing. And there was this lingering doubt and fear within me that was like, yeah, maybe it will happen, but like maybe it won't. I was not tapped into my desire at all. I was completely circumstance focused before I made the decision. And I was thinking about all of the things that were happening in my business and all that I had planned for 2021 and everything that's happening in my family and everything that was happening on Vancouver Island here that I wanted to be here for. But I wasn't really thinking about what I actually desired. And then one day I found myself very upset. And I couldn't figure out why I was upset. And I was like, I'm grateful, there's so much good things happening around me, I should be so happy, but why am I not happy? Why do I feel conflicted? What is the voice within me trying to tell me? And the voice within me said, all I fucking desire is to be on a beach writing a book. My soul said, all I desire is, that's all I desire. And so I was like, all right, clearly I absolutely desire to move to a different country and write this book now. I did this Q&A on my Instagram stories a few weeks ago, and I was driving in the car with my dad, and somebody had asked me, like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Who are you and where do you see yourself in 5 years? So I'm like, who am I? And my dad interrupts and he's like, intuitive, intelligent, blah, 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 blah. And he's like hyping me up, which was so beautiful. I love him so much. And then I was like, where do I see myself in 5 years? And I was like, I see myself living in a tropical location, laying on a beach, writing fucking books, sharing my truth, speaking my truth, coaching, helping people in all of the ways that I desire. I said, I see myself there in 5 years. It was like maybe like 3 to 7 days later, I don't know the exact timeline, when I made the decision to do this, when I'm like, okay, I'm going, I'm moving, I'm packing my shit, and this is happening. I'm making the decision. I've said 5 years, it happened in like 5 days. I don't know, my friends. I think that says something about the power of our desire and the power of decision, which is a masterclass that I previously hosted called The Power of Decision. If you haven't seen that yet or you didn't catch that yet, leave me a comment below saying Decision Masterclass, and I'll make sure you get a link to it later. But that is a powerful fucking masterclass. The power of decision, showing how a decision can change your entire life, how a decision opens up the gateway and the door and the energetic pathway for everything that you need to come to you as you need it. So as soon as I made that decision that I was going, like I said, my dream that I saw in 5 years happened within like 5 days. Boom, done. It's happening. It's official. Tickets are booked. I'm going. But that wouldn't have happened if I didn't listen to what I truly wanted. If I was like, I have to stay on Vancouver Island because my family is here and they need me for XYZ reasons right now, I wouldn't be following my desire. I wouldn't be moving into this new space. I wouldn't be moving to a different country following my dreams. I wouldn't be living my higher purpose. I wouldn't be expanding more into my infinite potential. I wouldn't be doing the fucking thing. But I'm doing it because I followed my desire. I made the decision. Right? So that's a beautiful thing. Knowing what you truly fucking want, what you truly want, not what they want for you, not what you think would be good, not what you think you should do for them, but what you actually want for you. And the reasons that you want that get to be what they are. If you want something, you're allowed to want it. If you desire something, you are allowed to desire it. You're allowed to. You can do whatever the fuck you want as long as you're not hurting people. You get to do whatever you want as long as it's for the greater good of all. If you're living in your authentic purpose, if you're living in your full embodied truth, it will be for the greater good because the universe works in divine ways. Our collective consciousness works in divine ways. Our spirits, our souls, our individual consciousness, our own potential, our own purpose, our own passions, our own desires, they work in beautiful, magical, mysterious ways. So if you follow your soul, your true desires, your true purpose, your true mission, your true passions, you will get there. And it will be for the greater good, and you will change the world in beautiful ways. If that means just being a little more bold and confident, if that means learning to follow your intuition, if that means starting a business, if that means moving somewhere else, if that means donating to charity, if that means whatever, leaving somebody a nice note, follow your soul, follow your desire. This masterclass came out of pure desire. Pure desire. I'm like, I want to do something free for the people. I want to help the people in a really low-cost way. The universe is like, okay, talk about infinite potential. My soul is like, okay, do a masterclass on playing in the infinite. I'm like, all right, I desire it. I'll do it. I trust it. All right, sweet. Now we're here. Right? So it's all building, it's all compounding. Just keep following your soul, keep following your desire, whether it's a small desire, a big desire, a major desire, a quantum leap desire. They all matter. All desires matter. All desires are worthy. I feel like we need a big sign for that. Like, all desires matter. Not just the big desires. All desires matter. Even the small ones. Maybe you have a desire to floss your teeth more than once a month. I don't know. I definitely have a desire to floss my teeth every day because I don't do that. That would be a good goal. So if I desire that, I just have to make the decision that I'm actually going to follow through with that desire, right? But yeah, flossing my teeth every day, if I truly desire that, that's in alignment with my greatest good and the greater good for all. Because I'm taking care of myself, my health, my personal hygiene. That makes me feel more confident. That helps me express myself more fully. That helps me do my purpose work in the world. That helps me change people's lives. That helps me change the world. Something as minuscule as me flossing my fucking teeth. So, I mean, like, don't discredit any level of desire. All desires are worthy. All desires are powerful. All desires are important. Trust your own. Trust your own. Trust your own in the present moment. Trust your desire. It is safe for you to follow your desire. It is safe for you to trust your desires. It is safe. It's not only safe, but you're going to have more fun. You're going to be more fulfilled. You're going to be happier. You're going to be living more in your truth. It's going to expand you. It's going to put you back into your personal power. You're going to recognize and remember who the fuck you are. And then you're going to go out and do all the beautiful things you do in the world, you're meant to do in the world, because you're not doubting yourself anymore. You trust yourself, you trust your desire, you trust your infinite potential, and your world fucking changes. This is how we play in the infinite. Know who you are. Know what you desire. Trust who you are. Trust what you desire. Embody who you are. Embody what you desire. And you will get to where you desire to go every fucking time. Every time. Okay, one of us has the desire to manifest better. There is no better or worse manifesting. There is no better or worse manifesting. Okay, you're not bad at manifesting. We are all master manifestors. Every single one of us is a master manifester. Naturally, always and already. You were born that way. Nothing has changed. Nothing could ever take that away from you. If you're not manifesting the things that you want, maybe you want to get better at manifesting the things that you actually desire. Maybe you just want to actually manifest the things you actually desire instead of manifesting the things that you don't desire. Because that's actually what's happening. It's not about manifesting better, because you can't get worse at manifesting over time. It's all about what we're focusing on. It is all about our focus and our intention and our belief and our faith. So your focus and your intention is what you're going to be creating and manifesting, right? Yeah, so you can't fuck up manifesting. You're always manifesting. You're just either manifesting what you desire or what you don't desire based on where your focus and your intention is. Yes, and collective consciousness is so important. Collective intention, collective focus, what the collective of humanity is focusing upon absolutely affects our world. And I totally agree, Arlene. It would be so helpful and so beneficial to our world for more people to focus on a better world for all our children and for all people in general. But everybody has free will. And the world works in divine, mysterious ways. My outlook on this is to continue to focus on what I desire. So my desire is for all people to live in alignment with their highest truth so that we can bring the positive changes that we desire in our world to life more effortlessly and easily as a collective. I, unfortunately, don't have direct control over what happens in our world with our children. However, every action and intention and thought and belief that I focus on is always manifesting into form. So I choose to focus on the idea that humanity and the collective is shifting in a beautifully divine way that is in alignment with the greatest good for all. I choose to believe that. I choose to focus on that. I choose to trust other people. I choose to trust the collective. I choose to trust our collective journey. And all I see for our future is continued positive change. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna move on. That's a whole nother topic. That's a really, really great point there. Thank you for bringing that up. And yes, I think that is a very great way to move forward with that, is to continue to focus on your intention and your belief for what you desire to see in our future. You're amazing, and your intention and your energy and your focus does matter. It is powerful. So thank you for focusing on the greater good. Okay. So now that we've thought a little bit about what you truly want, maybe you've identified it clearly, maybe you're still feeling it out. That's okay. There's no rush. It will come to you exactly when it's meant to. The next part is all about the mindset and the beliefs of those who play in the infinite. So like we talked about, we know that what we're focusing on is continually expanding, right? So the people who play in the infinite, the people who play with their infinite potential, what are they focusing on? What is their mindset? What are their beliefs, right? This is so exciting. Infinite potential. This is what they focus on. This is what they believe in. This is what they live by. We. Okay, infinite potential. Those who play in the infinite, their mindset and their belief systems are aligned with their infinite potential. Infinite possibilities. The infinite. All that is. All possibilities existing right here, right now. All possibilities available to them right here, right now. This is the mindset and the belief system of somebody who lives in the infinite, who plays in the infinite, who embodies their infinite potential. They know that the infinite exists within and around them, that they are a part of it. They are not separate from it. They have access to it all. And they choose what they desire to reach out and grab it from the infinite. If you can hold it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. If you desire it inside of you, you can reach out in the universe and grab it and hold it for yourself. That is an infinite possibility that is here for you. You just have to choose it. You just have to decide you want it. You just have to desire it. and then say, oh, okay, I see it in my mind, I can hold it in my hand. Of course it's fucking possible for me. Of course it's possible for me. Of course. Of course. I'm an infinite being living in a physical body. I'm infinite potential in human form. Of course it's possible for me. Of course. Of course. Can I lock that in a little more for you? Of course it's possible for you. You are infinite potential in human form. For real. Okay, the people who play in the infinite, they have a limitless mindset. Their mindset and their belief systems are not limited to circumstances. Their mindset and their belief systems are infinite. They're infinite. And if they catch themselves playing into or focusing on a not feel good thought, feeling, action, belief, whatever, if they find themselves in a mindset or belief system that does not feel good for them, they reevaluate it. They look at it for what it is. They figure it out. They dig into it. And they heal it. And what I mean by healing it is they take it from that limited, confined, not feel good, separate place where it wasn't possible for them, or they couldn't do it, or they didn't have the potential. And like I said, they heal it. They remember who the fuck they truly are. Infinite potential in human form. With the ability, the infinite ability to access infinite possibilities in this universe, in this lifetime, in this present moment. Limitless, infinite access, infinite possibilities, infinite potential. This is what they are focusing on. This is what we are focusing on. I'm not thinking about why it's not possible for me, or what might trip me up along the way, or who might try to stop me, or any of the limited things. I'm not thinking about any of that shit. I'm constantly reminding myself to open my mind. I'm constantly reminding myself to remember who I am and what is possible for me. When I remember who I am and what is possible for me, it brings me back into my power, which is my infinite potential. It brings me back into alignment with the knowing and the belief and the trust that I am an infinite being, infinite potential in human form. I'm infinite potential on legs. I'm magic on legs. I can be, do, have, create anything I desire, so long as I truly desire it and it is not going to hurt people. Of course I can fucking have it. Of course I can. I was made for it. If I see it in my mind, I can hold it in my hand. If I desire it, it was made for me. God, the universe, spirit, source will never give you an idea or a desire that you cannot handle. You will never be given something in life, in this universe, in this experience that you cannot handle. If you desire it, you were made strong enough for it. If you desire it, you were made to overcome it. If you desire it, you were made to make it through it. If it's here for you, man, you're made to live through it. You gotta know that you have infinite potential. No matter how hard it gets, no matter how much you struggle, no matter how much pain you feel, no matter how much disappointment you feel, no matter how much you want to cry, no matter how emotional it gets, no matter how emotionally compromised you might be in a present moment, you've got to remind yourself that you are infinite potential in human form. You can be, do, have, create anything you fucking desire, no matter what, always and already, of course. This is literally what's on repeat in my mind every day. And this is what allows me to continue reaching, to continue expanding, to continue embodying more of my potential. This is what allows me to play in the infinite and keep going bigger in life. This is what is going to allow me to impact millions of people around the world. This is what is going to allow me to create more money and impact and income and financial freedom than I can even imagine, because that's aligned with the greatest good for the entire universe. There are big things that I want to do in this world, and we need money to do these big things. So of course I am worthy of that money. Of course I am worthy of those connections. Of course I am worthy of those opportunities. Of course I can do it. I have infinite potential. If I desire it, it is for me. Do you feel me? Do you feel this? Is this locking in? Let me know in the comments if you feel this. I know I feel it. I'm like, it's bubbling. It just wants to come out. I want to scream it from the rooftops. You have infinite potential. You could be, do, have, create anything you desire. You just have to believe in yourself. Know that you're infinite potential on legs. Never forget your worth. Never forget your power. La 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 la. I just want to scream it from the rooftops and change the world, you know? Okay, infinite potential, limitless, infinite possibilities. This is what we're focusing on. This is our mindset and our beliefs. Another part of it, we're not focusing on the problems. A problem comes up, we're not focusing on the problems. We're not saying, I have this big problem. This is a problem. We're not saying, this is a problem, this is a problem. We're saying, okay, this thing is happening and it doesn't feel good. What is my solution? Okay, we're solution focused. We focus on solutions and possibilities, not problems and circumstances. Solutions and possibilities is what we are focusing on. Solution-minded, that's exactly it. We're going to talk more about this. So yeah, tomorrow actually, the first topic tomorrow that we're diving deep into is how to stay solution focused and how to lean into possibility conditioning. So we're going to dive more into this tomorrow, but we're focusing on solutions. We are always creating and finding new solutions. We are focusing on the infinite possibilities. If a problem comes up, if a roadblock comes up, if an obstacle comes up, we say, okay, this is my learning opportunity, right? I'm meant to learn something here, right? What is my solution? What are the possibilities here? How could this end up working out? What do I desire to happen here? How do I actually desire for this situation to pan out? You ever asked yourself that when you had a problem? You ever asked yourself that when you felt stuck somewhere? How do I desire for this to work out? Like, what would my dream solution be? Have you ever asked yourself that? Because if you do it, you're going to see that there are infinite possibilities for you. In any situation, with any obstacle or roadblock or problem that you're working to overcome, there are infinite possibilities for how it could turn out. Are you focusing on solutions, or are you just assuming that one problem is going to compound and multiply into a billion more problems and you're going to be overwhelmed and you won't be able to handle it, so then you're going to die? This is the fight or flight response in our nervous system. When we get anxious and when we get fearful, and when our anxiety rises in our solar plexus right up to our heart center and we can't breathe and we're shaking and our mind is going in a zillion directions. When the mental and physical anxiety kicks in, stop focusing on all the problems. What is a solution here? Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. What are all of the possible outcomes here? And specifically, what is the outcome that you desire? What is the outcome that you desire? Focus on that. That is a solution. Okay? So we stay solution and possibility focused. We know that if there's a problem, we're not confined to that problem. We're not confined to only one way of sorting things out. There are infinite possibilities, infinite solutions, and we tap into those, especially the ones that we want. Oh, this one's so good. The mindset and beliefs of those who play in the infinite. We're emotionally intelligent, my friends. We are emotionally intelligent. What this means, you could put it another way, we're intuitive. We follow our soul. We listen to our inner guidance. We listen to our intuition. Okay, we're emotionally intelligent. What this means is you follow your emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is your inner guidance system. It's your inner GPS. Your emotions are guidance. Your emotions, this is your inner navigation system. Your emotions are always telling you what is right for you, what is not right for you. Actually, I dive so deep into the topic of emotional intelligence and how to be emotionally intelligent and follow your intuition in the Shift bundle. I held this, it was like a 6-day masterclass called the Shift Masterclass a few months ago. Powerful beyond measure. There is now homework and assignments that go with every training from that masterclass. And I put it into a bundle. It's called the Shift Bundle. So if you want access to that, leave a comment below and say Shift Bundle. I'll get you a link so you can check that out and see if that's for you. But yeah, we're emotionally intelligent. We listen to our inner GPS. We listen to our inner guidance system. Our emotions are always telling us what is right for us and what is not right for us, what feels good for us, what does not feel good for us. And we listen to that. We listen to that. If something feels gross, if something feels not fucking good, we don't do that thing because we know that it's not right for us. We care about and respect ourselves enough to honor our emotions. If we don't feel good or if something doesn't feel good, we figure out a way to do it where it does feel good instead. Again, this is part of being solution focused. This is part of focusing on the infinite possibilities. You gotta listen to yourself. What you want and what I want might be very different. What you want and what he or she wants might be very different. What you want and what all of them want might be very different. So their approach and their approach and their approach and my approach might not work for you. This is why you have an emotional guidance system. This is why you have emotions. This is why you have intuition. This is why you have senses. So that you can decipher and identify what feels good and right for you. And you can follow that. And if something doesn't feel good and right for you, well, you can choose again. Because every single moment is an opportunity to choose again. So this is emotional intelligence, okay? It's listening to your inner guidance and following that. It's making decisions through your emotional intelligence. It's following your inner guide, following your intuition, following your emotions, showing up to honor those things, showing up in alignment with those things. Emotional intelligence in a nutshell. I could teach an entire program on emotional intelligence and love every fucking second of it because it is how I live my life. You've heard me say it before. You'll hear me say it a billion times over. If something truly doesn't feel good for me, I don't do it. This doesn't mean that when something is difficult, I don't do it. This means I know the difference. I've listened to my emotions and I've tuned into my emotions and my intuition enough to know when I'm facing fear and there's just discomfort and it's just a growth phase for me. You know, there's a difference between fear and something really not feeling good. There's a difference between fear and the anxiety that comes with uncertainty and moving into a space that you've never been before. There's a difference between that and your intuition saying, this is not right for you. There's a difference. There's a difference. Over time, as you listen, as you practice, as you honor, you're going to be able to tell the difference. And you're going to be able to know when something is right for you, when something is not right for you. When it's not right for you, you'll be able to choose again. Emotional intelligence. It's so juicy. Like, we could go on for hours and hours. So the next point, the mindset and beliefs of those who play in the infinite, is we prioritize our intuition and our inner guide. So same as the emotional intelligence, right? We listen to our intuition, we listen to our inner guide, and we follow through on that. We honor that, right? Trust your instincts. Yeah, instincts, intuition, emotional intelligence, inner GPS. I'm talking about the same thing here. However you need to look at it or word it to yourself to understand this. Maybe you resonate with instincts. Maybe you resonate with intuition. Maybe you resonate with emotions and feelings. Whatever is easier for you to tap into, recognize, and understand for yourself, follow that thing. Follow that thing. It's within you. It's guiding you. It's telling you what's right for you and what is not right for you. Listen to it. The first time I was ever told to trust my intuition, my mom and her ex-boyfriend were drinking in the living room. I was maybe like 11 years old or something. And, you know, they were just having a night in, whatever. It was safe. It was good. And we were all just chatting or whatever. And her ex was like, he'd had a few drinks, so he was getting pretty passionate about what he was talking about. And he looks at me and he says, no matter what, follow your gut. He said, you get that feeling in your gut? He's like, follow it. Follow your gut. It stuck with me ever since. He was the first person to teach me that I had something inside of me that was going to tell me if something was wrong, if something wasn't right for me, right? He was the first person to tell me that. And it was really cool because it stuck with me forever. And I've been able to, you know, relate that to these other concepts and ideas and words that I've learned along the way. So, follow your gut, follow your instincts, follow your intuition, trust your inner guidance, let your emotional guidance system guide you. That's its job, okay? And the last part, which we're actually going to dive deep in tomorrow, the mindset and beliefs of those who play in the infinite, are boundaries, standards, rules. Like I was asking you all a little bit earlier in the chat here, what are the rules that you have around feeling that way, right? If you desire to feel content, if you desire to feel happy, if you desire to feel whatever, what are the rules that you have set around that? What needs to happen in order for you to feel happy? What needs to happen in order for you to feel content? What needs to happen in order for you to feel free or fulfilled or impactful or successful or whatever it is that you desire? What are the rules that you have set around that? What rules do you have to live up to in order to experience that in your life? If you've been watching my Instagram stories, you've probably seen that I've posted about this for about 3 days in a row, talking about rules. Okay? They're important. We all make rules around what needs to happen in order for, what needs to happen in order to, what needs to happen, what needs to happen, what needs to happen, what needs to happen. Instead of us just being like, I want to be happy, okay, I'll be happy. I want to be content, okay, I choose to be content. I want to be grateful, all right, I choose to be grateful. People put these rules in place. In order for me to be content, my relationships need to be solid. In order for me to be happy, I need to be able to be doing what I love every second of every day. Okay, so Kyla, I need to embody my desires instead of living on autopilot and ignoring them. Okay, so that's your rule. That's your rule around following your intuition. So in order for you to follow your intuition, your rule is that you need to embody your desires instead of living on autopilot and ignoring them. Okay, that's good. Okay, good to know. So our rules are never like, don't judge things as good or bad, my friends. I recommend not to judge things as good or bad. Look at how it feels for you. Does it feel expansive for you, or does it feel limiting? So Kyla, in regard to this, does this rule feel expansive for you, or does it still feel a little bit limiting? Is there a part of it that feels like there's potential there that is limited? Does that make sense? Like, is there a way that you could shift your rule so that it was all empowering rather than limiting in any way? So to go back to the example that I was going to use before, so let's say somebody, in order for you to feel content or brave, more so than intuition. Okay, so in order for you to feel content or brave, you need to embody your desires instead of living on autopilot and ignoring them. Okay, so yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. I would take some time to look at that if I were you, and ask yourself if there's anything about your rule that still feels a little bit limiting. You know, if you grow and you expand and you embody more of your infinite potential, as you move forward, right, is that rule going to limit you at some point? Or is it still going to allow you to expand? In other words, is this rule fully aligned with your truest truth right now? And again, our rules, just like our desires and things, they're going to evolve and change, and that's why it's important for us to look at them and ask ourselves what our rules around feeling or being or doing certain things are. Because once we're aware of the rules, we can ask ourselves, is this limiting me or is this empowering me? And we can shift them so that they allow us and help us live more and play more in the infinite. Okay. So Kyla, you can message me later if you feel that you want to talk a little bit more about that. I'll see if I'm able to help you. Okay, my friends, so the last part of our masterclass today. We just went through understanding the depths of who and what you truly are. We talked about identifying what the fuck you truly want. What do you actually desire? We talked about the mindset and the beliefs of those who play in the infinite. And the last thing we're going to talk about is how to not let your circumstances control you. How to not let your circumstances control you. Your circumstances have nothing to do with what is possible for you. Your circumstances have nothing to do with what you are capable of. Your circumstances have nothing to do with what possibilities are available. They have nothing to do with you. Your circumstances have literally nothing to do with you. But so many people live from this space of being controlled by their circumstances. Oh, I just forgot. I didn't mention anything about standards and boundaries. I just talked about rules in that last point that we just went over. So standards and boundaries are also very important, but I believe we dive deep into that tomorrow. Yeah, how to honor your strong values, standards, and boundaries. So we're going to dive deeper into standards, boundaries, and rules tomorrow. Okay, especially the standards and boundaries part, because those are what determine the level that we show up at. If we have a low standard for ourselves and we don't have any boundaries for ourselves, then we don't really give a shit how we show up. Is that aligned with our infinite potential? No? So I'm going to show you and teach you about the types of standards and boundaries that we need to continue playing in and embodying our infinite potential. So to continue playing in the infinite, what kind of standards and boundaries do people have? The people who play in the infinite, what kind of standards and boundaries do they have? They have strong, clear boundaries and standards. They have energetic minimums. So they say, nothing less than this. This is my energetic minimum. This is what I'm not willing to settle for anything less than. Okay, these are standards. Boundaries are like guidelines. They're kind of like rules that we set up to ensure that we're showing up in a way that is aligned with our infinite potential and our highest truth and what feels good for us. So without standards and boundaries and rules, our life is just we kind of just leave everything up to circumstance, right? Which is the next point that I'm talking about, which is not allowing yourself to be controlled by your circumstances, right? So we'll dive more into that tomorrow, but like I said, not allowing your circumstances to control you. Your circumstances actually have nothing to do with you. Okay, you have infinite potential. You have infinite potential. There are infinite other possibilities outside of this one circumstance. This circumstance simply just manifested because of what you were focusing on in the past, what you've become an energetic match for, what you have allowed yourself to be an energetic match for, or somebody else's free will imposed on your life. But your circumstances actually have nothing to do with you. They don't define your worth. They don't define your potential. They don't define what's possible for you. They don't limit you unless you allow them to. So again, it's your perception that determines what you're limited by. If you perceive that this circumstance is in control, it's going to control you. If you perceive that this circumstance is limiting to you, it's going to limit you. If you perceive that this circumstance is something that you have the infinite potential to overcome, recreate, shift, change, evolve, transmute, then you'll be able to do that. So you have to look at your circumstances from a space where you are fully embodied in your infinite potential. You have to look at your circumstances from a space where you know that you are in control of them, they do not control you. You have to look at your circumstances from a space of, oh, I'm empowered. I am in my power. I have infinite potential. There are infinite possibilities. I can choose how I want this to turn out, and I can decide to change this. That's what somebody who plays in the infinite does, is they see their circumstance for what it is and they decide what they desire instead. They say the circumstance is obviously here to teach me if it's not something that I want, so what do I desire instead? What can I learn here? How do I desire to move forward? How can this help me grow? How is this allowing me to evolve? How can I embody more of my potential through this endeavor? Through finding a solution to this circumstance. Okay? So, circumstances. Please do not let yourself be controlled by them. They are so small in the grand scheme of things. They are so small. Like, it irks me. It hurts my heart to know that there are still so many people out in the world who are allowing themselves to be controlled by their circumstances. Because I know that they have infinite potential. I know that you have infinite potential. I know that I have infinite potential. I know that every single human being who is a soul or a spirit or an energetic being living in a physical human body, I know that every single one of them has infinite potential. I know that. But a lot of them don't know that. And that's why I'm doing this work. That's why I'm hosting this masterclass. That's why I do what I do. That's why I coach. That's why I'm going to write. That's why all these things. Because I desire for people to know that they have infinite potential. I desire for people to know that they never have to be controlled by their circumstances. I desire for people to know that they can recreate, change, transform anything that they desire to in their lives. I desire for people to know that they are in control, that the power is theirs, that the potential is theirs, that they are infinite, limitless, expansive. They can be, do, have, create anything they desire. That is my desire. That is my desire. And I will never let a fucking circumstance come in between me and my greater purpose here. I will never let a circumstance come in between me and my desires, because I play in the infinite. I know who I am. I know what is possible for me. I know that I have infinite potential, infinite power. There are infinite possibilities. So I would never let one tiny little circumstance that I have the power and potential to shift, change, and recreate. I would never let that stop me. I would never let that slow me down. I would never let that hold me back. Because if I did, I would no longer be playing in the infinite. I would be playing in circumstance, and that is not fucking playing with life at all. That is not playing with life. Playing with life is playing in the infinite. It's knowing who you are. It's embodying your power, your infinite potential. It's moving toward your true desires. It's living your authentic truth. It's bringing your unique purpose and passions and mission. It's living those things out. Okay, it's trusting yourself, trusting your journey, trusting your path, trusting your desires. It's believing. It's knowing. Locking it in, energetically, emotionally, locking it the fuck in, that you are infinite potential in human form. There are infinite possibilities. And you are not limited by anything other than what you perceive to be limited by. And if you have a limited perception, there's also an infinite perception. And you can choose the infinite perception, the infinite possibility, the infinite solutions over the circumstance anytime you desire. Anytime you desire. Okay? Goodness gracious! What a conversation, my friends! This is what playing in the infinite is like. So now you know there's so much that goes into this, but it really is simple. It really is simple. There are a lot of different ideas that go into this, but it's simple. You just have to be who the fuck you truly are. You just have to do what the fuck you actually truly desire to do. That's it. That's it. That's playing in the infinite. You live in your infinite potential, and you reach toward those infinite possibilities that you desire. Okay? So I'm so grateful that I was able to share this conversation with you today. I'm so grateful. And I can't wait for tomorrow. Today was, like I said, we built a foundation of understanding for you. So we built this foundation of understanding for you, where now we can move into tomorrow and I can actually give you the tools and the resources and the practices, the things that I use and the concepts that I use and the ideas that I practice every day that actually help me take the action forward. It's the next level of playing in the infinite. It's not just understanding what playing in the infinite means. It's actually embodying that. It's actually living that. It's actually doing that. It's making that a reality for yourself in the present moment every single day. It's reminding yourself over and over again who you are, what you desire, what you're capable of. Okay? So tomorrow we are diving deeper. Number one, we're going to talk about staying solution focused and leaning into possibility conditioning. So how? Not only the concept of it like we talked about today, but how, exactly how to stay solution focused, exactly how to lean into possibility conditioning. Okay, we're going to talk about exactly how to align with and embody your infinite self, how to embody that, how to be your next level self. Okay, how to align with that and embody that. I'm going to show you exactly how to visualize, feel into, and embody your future reality. So how to visualize, how to see it in your mind, okay? How to feel into it, and then how to hold it in your fucking hand. So I'm going to show you how to see it, how to feel it, and then how to be it. Okay? This is about no longer waiting to be the person you desire to be. It's no longer waiting to live in your infinite potential. It's no longer waiting for the moment when you're ready or you're prepared or you feel that you've done enough work. It's just like knowing that you're worthy of it, knowing who the fuck you truly are, and being that. Like just being your unapologetic, true, embodied, infinite potential self. It's no longer hiding, no longer playing small, right? We have to get to a point where we're willing to be who we're meant to be. You're the only person who can give yourself fucking permission to do that. And I want to help you feel more comfortable with that. And that's what we're going to dive into tomorrow. Okay, I want you to see it. I want you to feel it. I want you to be it. Yourself, your true, infinite, limitless self. Okay? So, and then what's the last one? Yeah, then, oh my gosh, this is the good part, because this is what locks in everything we desire. This is what sets the standard and the tone for what actually manifests and happens in our life. Is I'm going to show you exactly how to honor strong values, strong standards, and strong boundaries. How to honor them. So it means you set your values out, you set out your values, you set out your standards, you set out your boundaries, and you actually show up in integrity with them. It's not just lip service. You're not just paying yourself lip service. You're not just talking the talk. You're walking in your truth. You're living your higher purpose. You're embodying your infinite potential through these boundaries, through these standards, and through these values. So I'm going to show you how to pick values, standards, and boundaries that align with who you are and who you desire to be and how you desire to feel. And then how to live by those. How to live in integrity with your values, your standards, and your boundaries. And then the last part, which is so fucking good. Literally, this is probably the most simple but the best part of the masterclass, day 1 and 2, and we're going to end with it tomorrow. It's the concept of playing to play versus playing not to lose. So I'll explain this a little bit right now, but I don't want to go too deep into it. Playing not to lose is what most people do. The people that you see that are not really playing with life at all, they're typically playing not to lose. And what playing not to lose means is what they're focusing on all the time is not losing. Not losing, not fucking up, not doing it wrong, not losing. It's not the vibe. Playing not to lose is not the vibe because you're constantly focusing on what you don't want, which is losing. So you focus on not losing, but you actually manifest losing because you're focusing on not losing instead of winning. Does that make sense? So this is really funny. Scarcity based versus is finite. Yeah, scarcity based, exactly. So the playing not to lose is completely lack and scarcity mindset. It's, I don't want to lose, I don't want to miss out, I don't want to fuck this up. And you actually end up manifesting more of the lack and the scarcity and the vibe that you don't desire to create. So what I'm going to teach you how to do is to play to fucking play. It's not about winning. It's not about winning. You win when you play the game. You win when you play in the infinite. You win every fucking time. It gets better and 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 better because you're playing in the infinite. You're playing with your whole heart. You're playing with your infinite potential. You're playing at your highest capacity. You're playing at your next level. You're stepping into your next level over and over and over again. You're just playing the damn game of life. You're playing the game of life and you're following your desire so it feels so fucking good because you're doing what you truly love. But yet you're still growing. So you're figuring out these other things that you desire and that you want and that you love. And then it's just more of what you love, more of what you desire. It continues to come in because you're playing in the infinite. You're focused on what you want rather than what you don't want. And you're just playing the damn game. So you're winning. You play and you play and you play and you play. And even on the days when like you play what you would perceive as a mediocre game, you're still winning. Because you've been playing the game every day. And your efforts and your energy and your actions and the forward steps that you've taken, they are compounding. They are building upon each other. When we play in the infinite, my friends, we play to play. We're here to have fun. We're here to live to our fullest potential. So we've got to play instead of playing not to lose. If you find yourself playing not to lose, remind yourself that your infinite potential on fucking legs. You were born to win. You were made to win, which means you're always and already winning. Nothing can change that. Nothing can take that away. Stop thinking about losing. You're not a loser. You were never made to lose. You were made to fucking win. So own it. You're worthy of winning. You're worthy of playing the game. You're worthy of playing the life and the game of your dreams. Go out and do it. Go out and play in the infinite. Remember who you are. Remind yourself what you desire. And come back to that as many times as you freaking need to until you lock it in. If you're not in day 2 yet, for tomorrow, this is another conversation that you're absolutely going to want to be there for. If you're watching the replay down the line and you still want to join day 2, you absolutely can. The replay is there for you as well. I believe it's going to be the same link. So the link is here for you. Otherwise, send me a message. But day 2 is where we're taking everything that we learned today and we're applying it. We're integrating it. So you can join day 2. Send me a message if you are not in there yet. We have a private group for day 2. So there's a private group for day 2, which you'll get to the link to once you purchase. And that's where it's going to be. So I'm so excited. I'm so fucking excited. Today was phenomenal. I want to thank each and every one of you so much for popping on and being here with me. As you know, like, I just have so much fun doing this. This is my life's work. This is what I'm made to do, is to teach and to speak my truth and to talk about the things that really light me up. And at this point in time, it happens to be infinite potential, playing in the infinite, helping you create and step into and embody and live the life of your wildest fucking dreams. I want you to know who you are. I want you to know what you're capable of. I want you to know what you desire. And I want to see you go out and create that. I want to see you go out and get that. I want to see you go out and live that. I want to see you playing in the infinite like you're so worthy of, like you've always been worthy of, like you've always been meant to. Before somebody told you that you weren't enough, or you weren't good enough, or you weren't made for it, or it wasn't possible for you, or nobody does that, or whatever the fuck they told you that made you believe that it wasn't good or right or true for you. When deep down within you, you've always known what you really truly fucking wanted. It's your voice I want you to follow. It's your intuition I want you to hear. Okay, it's your inner guidance that I want you to walk behind. Okay? And that's why I do these masterclasses. That's why I do this work. So that I can help you step into that like you were always made to. Okay, I love you. I'll see you all for day 2 tomorrow. Or if you're watching the replays in the future, I'll see you for whatever comes next. I love you. Thank you. Remember, you are infinite potential on legs. You are infinite potential in human form. You can be, do, have, create anything you truly desire. You've just got to know what you desire, and you've got to choose it. Born worthy. Nothing has changed. You are always and already enough. Lock it in. Remember it. And live from that space. I'll talk to you soon.